The phone on my desk buzzed with that familiar corporate ringtone, pulling me out of the Jacobson merger notes I'd been annotating in my precise handwriting. I was Evelyn Hart, senior corporate attorney at a prestigious firm in downtown Chicago. The kind of place where every deal closed with six-figure bonuses and boardroom handshakes. My grandmother's vintage Cartier watch read exactly 3 p.m. Perfect. I waved Amanda in while finishing the call. Your projections are spot on.
Yes.
Hart. The board loved it, Richard Chin said through the speaker. Thanks, Richard. Final revisions by morning. I ended the call and reached for my coffee. But the phone rang again. First Valley Bank. Probably routine paperwork on the Jacobson financials. I picked up. Evelyn Hart speaking. MS.
Hart.
This is Eric Landon from the mortgage division. His voice had an edge that made my spine straighten. We're calling about 3 missed payments on the property at 1427 Elm Street, totaling $14,000 plus fees. My hand froze midair. The Jacobson papers blurred. There's been a mistake. I don't own any property on Elm Street. According to our records, you opened the mortgage 4 months ago. We've sent notices to the address on file, your address. I'm emailing the documents now.
The computer chimed.
I clicked the attachments. Heart already pounding. The signature page filled the screen. My name. My signature. Except the loop on the Y was too rounded. The cross on the T, too heavy. It looked exactly like the way my mother signed birthday cards. The same elegant slant she taught me when I was 7. Practicing at the kitchen table. Memory hit hard. 3 months earlier. Sunday dinner at my parents' suburban home in Oak Park. Mom sliding a stack of papers across the mahogany table with her bright, practice smile. Just some tax paperwork for your birthday? Honey. Nothing major. I'd been distracted, half listening while my younger sister Brianna showed off photos of her new house on her phone, the one with the wraparound porch she somehow afforded on a public school teacher's salary. I'd signed without reading closely, trusting her. Now the room tilted. I pressed my palm flat against the cool desk to steady myself. The forged signature stared back. A mockery of every encouraging note she'd ever written in my lunchbox. Every report card she'd signed. MS. Hart, are you still there? Eric's voice snapped me back. I forced my lawyer voice, calm. Clipped. Professional.
Yes.
Send me every document associated with this account. Dates. Amounts. Everything. Do not involve fraud yet. I'll handle it. He agreed. Voice cautious. The call ended. My screen glowed with evidence. I pulled up old emails, Mom's sudden interest in my financial statements. Her casual questions about tax documents wrapped in concern. The pieces clicked with sickening clarity. My phone vibrated. Caleb Monroe, my best friend since law school. Now partner at a competing firm. I hesitated, then answered. Hey, superstar. Heard you nailed the Jacobson pitch. Drinks tonight? Caleb, my voice cracked despite my best effort. I need your help. Professionally. A pause. I'm on my way. 15 minutes. I stared out at the Chicago skyline. The sun dipping behind skyscrapers. My grandmother's watch crystal catching the light. Her last words echoed. Stay strong. My girl. Not everyone deserves your trust. I hadn't understood then. I did now. When Caleb arrived, we moved to his firm's conference room.
Tara.
His sharp forensic accountant in a coral blazer spread documents across the polished table. In 14 months, my credit score had dropped from 810 to 611. Credit cards opened in my name. Personal loans. A business loan collateralized by my Vanguard portfolio, nearly $200,000 drained. They started small, Tara explained, voice steady. Store cards. minimum payments to dodge alerts. Then they escalated. The mortgage was the mistake, they got cocky. Missed payments they couldn't cover. Brianna's house. The wraparound porch. The one she couldn't afford otherwise. Caleb's hand rested on my shoulder. This isn't desperation, Evelyn. It's calculated. My phone buzzed again. Mom's photo from Christmas. Smiling falsely. A text. Sweetheart, we need to talk about some paperwork. Dad's making lasagna tonight. Everyone's coming. Don't forget the garlic bread. You always pick the best. The familiar endearment twisted my stomach. How many times had she called me sweetheart while practicing my signature in secret? I stood, smoothing my skirt with hands that trembled only slightly. I'm going to dinner. I need to see their faces when they lie to me one last time. Caleb warned me about manipulation. But I knew. The responsible one. The strong one. The one who always sacrificed. Not anymore. The elevator doors closed behind me. My phone kept buzzing. I didn't answer. The weight of the documents in my bag felt like armor now. Mom's lasagna scent hit me the moment I stepped into the foyer. Garlic. Oregano. The same aroma that once meant safety. Tonight it turned my stomach. My fingers brushed the mortgage papers in my shoulder bag. Sharp edges grounding me. Evelyn. Mom glided toward me in her favorite cornflower blue dress. Arms open. Her embrace felt like a cage. Perfect timing. Walter just pulled the garlic bread out. Sit.
Sit.
We opened that Cabernet you like. I stayed standing. No wine. Dad emerged from the kitchen. Oven mitts on. Lasagna dish steaming. There's my girl. Been too long since a proper family dinner. 3 months and 8 days since they forged the mortgage application. Mom ladled portions onto bone china. How's the Jacobson merger going? The board presentation must have gone well. The merger is fine, I said, watching her hands, the same hands that had replicated my signature perfectly. Board approved everything. Dad raised his glass. To my brilliant daughter. I pulled the mortgage documents from my bag and laid them on the pristine tablecloth. The bank logo gleamed. Silence fell. Mom's serving spoon hovered. A drop of sauce hit the china like blood. Would anyone like to explain why there's a mortgage in my name for a house on Elm Street? Brianna's wine glass hit the table too hard. Red liquid sloshing. Mom's eyes filled with tears on cue. Sweetheart, we were just trying to help your sister. She was going to lose her house. Help her by committing fraud? My voice stayed quiet. The deposition tone I'd honed over years. Dad's authoritative voice cut in, the one that used to make me shrink. Don't be dramatic. Families support each other sometimes. Support? By stealing my identity? Draining my portfolio? Opening cards in my name? Brianna's voice wobbled. You're always the strong one. Mom and Dad said you wouldn't mind. You helped me anyway. Their rehearsed unity hit like a blow. They'd planned this. I stood. Chair scraping. The performance ends now. Mom reached for me. We can explain. I stepped back. Dad commanded.
Sit down.
We're having family dinner. I walked out without looking back. Documents in hand. The door clicked softly behind me. The next morning at Caleb's office, Tara revealed more. My parents had been running an investment scam through the Oak Park Tennis Club, using my name and reputation as bait. Promised, guaranteed returns backed by my legal expertise. $3.2 million siphoned so far. Wired to accounts in Belize and Singapore. Targets, retirees, widows. People who trusted the Hart family name. Including Margaret Wilson, my high school English teacher who wrote my college recommendation. $247,000 from her retirement savings. Something inside me snapped. This wasn't just about me anymore. Caleb activated FBI contacts. Tara built the evidence chain. Eric from the bank joined. Within hours, Federal agents and forensic accountants filled my office. Victim statements piled up. Each name another wound. Mom's calls came nonstop. I declined them all. Brianna texted, "If you do this, you'll destroy our family." I watched the sun set over the skyline. They destroyed it themselves. The fraud reports hit 6 agencies at exactly 8 a.m. Accounts froze. Certified mail arrived at my parents' door by 8:15. My phone lit up with blocked withdrawal attempts. They knew it was coming. Dad's voicemail played on speaker. "Your mother is distraught. Evelyn.
We can work this out as a family.
Call Richard Spencer. He's been asking about you at the club." Richard Spencer. Dad's tennis partner for 20 years. Retired investment banker grieving his wife.
One of their targets.
They'd used my reputation to steal from a man who'd known me since I was 10. Tara brought new evidence. Brianna had applied for jobs using my law license and bar number at 3 firms and 2 financial institutions. The ethics committee was already notified. Then the storage unit discovery. Filing cabinets dating back 15 years. Forged signatures under different names. Different states. A long pattern of identity theft. Grandma's watch felt heavy on my wrist. She had known. Her warning finally made sense. Brianna's boyfriend Mark showed up at my office. Frazzled. It was all a misunderstanding. "Your parents said, 'Get out. Tell my sister if she comes near my professional credentials again, the next contact will be from the district attorney.'" He left stumbling. Emails from their attorneys arrived begging for a deal. Mom texted, "It was all your father's idea. I only went along. I deleted it." Agent Thompson from the FBI called. More victim statements. The tennis club members were figuring it out. The social facade my parents built over 40 years crumbled with every incoming call. I stood at my window, watching the team work. Each discovery hurt, but clarity grew. Some things mattered more than blood. The federal courthouse steps felt endless. I adjusted my charcoal suit, Grandma's Cartier catching morning light. Inside courtroom 314, familiar faces from the tennis club filled the benches. "Mrs. Wilson nodded encouragement from the 3rd row, the same tilt she'd given before my debate tournaments. My parents and Brianna sat in the defendant section. Mom's hair couldn't hide exhaustion. Dad's shoulders hunched. Brianna twisted a tissue. Wedding ring gone. Judge Margaret Chen entered. I took the witness stand. Evelyn Marie Hart. Defense attorneys tried every angle. Family support. Remorse. Financial pressure. Mom's lawyer painted her as a devoted mother who attended every school event. She attended them, I said. She also forged my signature on fraudulent documents. They offered restitution, with stolen money. I asked, with whose retirement savings? Dad's attorney called it poor judgment. I reminded the court of my drained college fund at 16, his first practice run. Brianna's young attorney claimed she looked up to me. She expressed remorse after she got caught. Not when she lived in a house bought with my identity. Not when she used my credentials. Not when elderly victims lost life savings. The final strategy, frame it as family love gone wrong. Love doesn't forge signatures, I said into the silence. Family doesn't steal identities. This wasn't love. It was greed. Judge Chen leaned forward. This court deals in facts. A sophisticated criminal enterprise preying on the vulnerable, including the defendant's own daughter. Sentences came down hard. Dad's 17 years federal prison plus supervised release and full restitution. Mom 14 years. Brianna 10 years. Marshals moved in with handcuffs. Evelyn, please. Mom's voice cracked as they let her past. I remained seated, back straight. Mrs. Wilson touched my shoulder. You did the right thing.
Dear.
Other victims nodded. The Jacobsons, Wilsons, Patels, people I'd protected by finally saying no. 6 months later, the brass nameplate read, Evelyn Hart, Director of Victim Restitution Program. The office felt different, welcoming chairs, resource pamphlets, warning signs of financial abuse on the walls. No more intimidating mahogany. Grandma's watch sparkled as I straightened a pamphlet. A framed letter from Mrs. Wilson hung beside my degrees. Your strength gave others courage. It's never too late to stand up. First restitution payments cleared. Chosen family, Caleb, Tara, Eric, celebrated at Antonio's Italian restaurant. Caleb raised his glass. To chosen family. The next morning, my first support group sat in the circle. An elderly man whispered, I should have known 52 years of marriage. And she emptied our accounts. You didn't fail her, I said softly. She failed you. There's a difference. Heads nodded. They'd heard the same excuses. Family obligation.
Just this once.
My credit score returned to 810. I closed the drawer on my family's thick case files with a decisive click. Later, I testified before the state Senate for the Hart Amendment, stronger protections against family financial fraud, closing the loopholes my parents exploited. Sometimes strength means saying no to family, I told the committee, especially when they're hurting others. That afternoon, a young woman paced the reception area, clutching a manila envelope. Shoulders hunched, the posture I once wore. I opened my door.
Come in.
I understand what you're going through. And I can help. Her desperate eyes met mine. I gestured to the chair. This time, the person behind the desk knew exactly how to guide someone through betrayal. Grandma's watch ticked softly. Strength wasn't silence or endless sacrifice. It was standing up, breaking patterns, turning wounds into shields for others. Family wasn't blood or obligation. It was choice, trust, truth, and sometimes saying no to the people who raised you so you could say yes to the person you'd become. The question lingered in the air, when does loyalty become complicity? And who truly deserves your trust?